Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's second video. We've already done the 5-day forecast, which you can find the video to it anyway here on the homepage. Just scroll a bit further down the page and 5-day forecast will be there for you on the homepage. There's also the written version, of course. You get to that by just clicking the button at the top of the page that says Written Centre, and you'll see a list then of pages that have written forecasts on them, written content. Select 5 and 7 day written forecasts, and that will take you off to read the written version of the 5-day forecast. So it's going to be a changeable period, really. We're starting off okay today, but after that it's downhill all the way for Easter, and it does look a bit dodgy, I'm afraid, over the Easter weekend, especially Saturday, Sunday and Monday. Good Friday, probably not too bad at all. This video is going to be looking at the coming month with the Beijing Climate Centre. So we're going to have a look at 500 millibar heights from the BCC, and then we'll have a look at the corresponding temperature and precipitation anomalies that go with that. It's going to take us into the start of May with this. We go 40 days ahead. So we're going to the start of May with this look ahead. Remember, all long-range forecasting, long-range models are highly experimental, not to be relied upon, so it's just for fun, really. The charts are there, might as well look at them, but don't take it necessarily too seriously. Before I get on with all of that, though, just going to talk about the competition, and before that, let's say about the ads. So there's links to articles on all of the pages. Have a browse through widgets and click through the links if there's any articles that you're interested in. Thanks so much for doing that. There's video ads on most of the pages, so open up the content, you watch them, they close back up again, and it all helps to pay for our website. It allows us to stay completely free, so we don't have to worry about subscriptions or pay-per-view, anything like that. If you engage with the ads, or the more you engage with the ads, the more you're helping to support the website. I know you all give your support to GavsWeatherVids.com. And to thank you for the support that you've given us over the past 4 years, we're running this competition. So I'll just very quickly mention that. We're at the midway point now, around halfway through the competition. We've teamed up with metcheck.co.uk Weather Instrumentation to give away this lovely thermometer. And this is the thermometer on our competitions page. So this is what you could be winning. On Sunday, we're giving this away. It'll be at 7 o'clock in the evening on Easter Sunday, but we announce the winner. So it's a digital thermometer, min-max. It is worth £25.50, so it's fantastic prize. And metcheck.co.uk Weather Instrumentation has very kindly donated this to us. This is MetCheck's logo, and actually we can go through to MetCheck's website. So let's just have a quick look at that. This is MetCheck Weather Instrumentation website. You can find their link, I say, on the competition page. I've also got a link to them on the links page as well. Excuse me. So we'll go back to Gavs Weather Vids, and just quickly to mention how you can enter the competition. It's just a prize draw, so you're not going to do anything particularly difficult. This is our email address, gavsweathervids@gmail.com. All you have to do is email us at gavsweathervids@gmail.com with subject title prize draw, and give your name and address. We need your name and address. A, because we need to know who's entering, of course, and we also need your address in case you win, so that MetCheck can send the prize to you. So email your name and address, and you'll be entered straight into that prize draw. And as I say, 5 o'clock in the evening, the competition will close. 7 o'clock in the evening, somebody will be pulled out of the bag, a name will be drawn out at random, and whoever gets drawn out will win this thermometer worth £25. So from the comfort of your own home, without having to do anything at all, you could find yourself the proud owner of a digital thermometer worth £25.50. I'd like Gavs to be a website that gives you opportunities and offers and prizes. So it could be yours on Sunday evening, on Easter Sunday, but you've got to be in it to win it. So do get emailing if you haven't done so yet. Thanks to everybody that has emailed so far. Right, let's get on with the Beijing Climate Centre month ahead, look ahead. So I'm going to start off with 500 millibar heights. As I say, I'll have a look at corresponding temperature and precipitation anomalies as well. These are broken down into 10-day periods, so the first 10-day period will take us from the 26th through to the 4th of April. So we're going into the start of a new month with this one. We find a ridge sitting up to the east of the country here on this chart. So we've got ridge over Scandinavia. We've got quite a deep trough in the Atlantic, and we've got more ridging through the central part of the Atlantic. So the trough is through the northern Atlantic, the ridge underneath it through the central Atlantic, and the ridge over across Scandinavia. It sounds complicated, but what's essentially happening is this ridge here to the northeast is breaking down as this trough of low pressure comes in from the west. So this is transitional. We're starting off, as we know right now, the amount of dry weather, but it turns much, much more unsettled as we get through to the Easter weekend and then on into next week. As this trough of low pressure moves in, we will find more unsettled conditions pushing in off the Atlantic. The next 10-day period takes us from the 5th of April through to the 14th, so going up to the middle part of next month. And a bit of a change with this one. You find the ridge setting up down to the southwest, and the jet stream is going a bit north of the country with this, so it's fairly pleasant. This, I was wondering whether we might have a bit of a colder plunge sometime through the first and into the second week of April, but certainly the Beijing Climate Centre isn't seeing that. It wants to build this ridge up down to the southwest, which will move the jet stream north. So if anything, this is quite pleasant actually. Could be our first real spring-like burst coming through here with some pretty decent temperatures and perhaps some dry weather as well. The next 10-day period goes from the 15th through to the 24th of April, so we're going into the second half of the month. And again, this is transitional, I think. So we start off with that ridging close to us, but the trough of low pressure is deepening in the Atlantic. So essentially the ridge is being broken down as the trough comes back. So expect this 10-day period probably to start off with a fair amount of dry weather, but it turns significantly more unsettled, I would think, as we run through the period. And then we go on to the final 10-day period, and this takes us beyond the month ahead. Actually, this is going 40 days ahead actually into the start of May. So we're going from the 25th of April through to the 4th of May with this one, and it's much more unsettled now. That trough of low pressure with the blue colours is back centred right over top of the country. The jet stream's doing something like that, so it's coming right through the UK. That's very unsettled. There'll be showers, long spells of rain, and pretty cool weather as well to end April and go into the start of May. I think the next bank holiday weekend, the May Day bank holiday weekend, is looming around that period. I'm not sure what the exact day is. I haven't looked it up, but it'll be sometime, of course, through that opening period of May. And, well, it's a long way off, so I won't worry about it, but it would be just typical that we get another unsettled bank holiday weekend for the start of May. Right, let's have a look at the temperature anomalies. So this is the temperature anomaly from the 26th of April through to the 4th of May, coming week. This looks milder than average, so fairly pleasant period coming up in terms of the temperatures, although I think they will start to cool off as we get through into next week. But over the rest of this week and into the Easter weekend, it's probably not going to be too bad with those temperatures. The next 10-day period, that one looks a bit cooler than average, surprisingly, really, because I thought that could be fairly pleasant. Remember, the model is placing a ridge somewhere around here, and I thought that would lift the jet stream to the north of us, but maybe the jet stream is doing something more like that then. So actually, perhaps it's not quite as warm and dry as it perhaps appeared on that 500 millibar height anomaly. Perhaps there's a low pressure coming through in that sort of zone. The next 10-day period, this going from the 15th to the 24th of April, looks near normal with the temperature, about average then. That's as the ridge is being broken down and returning unsettled. And then the final 10-day period, this going into the start of May, which is looking very unsettled with that trough of low pressure over the country. That comes out with near normal or slightly below average temperatures. Finally, having a look at the precipitation, the coming 10 days from the 26th of March through to the 4th of April, also a bit wetter than average. This is as the ridge is being broken down. Of course, it will be turning more unsettled. This looks okay. The next 10-day period looks a bit drier than average. So I think my interpretation was right, but we have got a ridge sitting down to the southwest. That makes us drier, but we're probably just on the wrong side of a jet stream. So that explains why the temperatures aren't particularly exciting. The next 10-day period, this is transitioning again, something more unsettled in the second half of April. That one comes out wetter than average. And then, well, this looks a bit grim for the final 10 days. This is days 30 through to 40, so it's a long way off. Don't be too concerned. But it does take us up towards the May Day bank holiday weekend, and this looks very significantly wetter than average, and it's not a surprise because it's placing a trough of low pressure right over top of the country. So it's a mixed bag for April. There's nothing particularly cold showing up though, so that's perhaps the good news if you're a farmer or a gardener or a fruit grower. There's nothing particularly alarming there showing up in terms of the temperatures, but it does look changeable. There's no sign of a sustained run of particularly dry anticyclonic weather. We do get that drier interlude in the first half of April before it all goes downhill again later in the month. But overall, quite a changeable April being signalled here, with no air mass particularly getting ascendancy. We alternate between low pressure, a bit of ridging, low pressure again, a pattern rather like that. Temperatures overall probably not deviating too far from average. So that's how the Bayesian climate centre is looking this week. We'll do it again next Wednesday. I want to make this a regular feature. When we do a 5-day forecast, I want to combine it with these month-head look aheads from the Bayesian climate centre on a Wednesday afternoon. So that's how it's looking this week, but we'll have a look again, of course, next week. And of course, Friday, it's JMA Friday, so I'll have a look at month ahead with the Japanese and CFS models on Friday as well. Right, that's all for now. Enter the competition if you haven't done so yet. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.